time. If you get banned off my channel, you stay banned because there's literally no one way to ban you. My advice, grow up. Some of you in your 20s, stop acting like 12-year-olds. And if you're really 12, you shouldn't be watching my channel anyway. This is not for children. I cannot unban you. I do not have a laptop. I cannot access the ban list from my phone. I just tried to do it. It did not work. You're going to have to accept you got banned. You're going to have to accept you acted like a faggot, and you're just going to have to cut your losses, make a new account, and that's the best advice I can give you. Getting the channel taken down, reporting things is not going to do anything. It's not going to help you. It's a waste of time. I don't know how that gets you unbanned. What that's going to do is someone's going to donate, and they're going to fucking ban you for life. So my suggestion, just make a new account and accept that you acted like a faggot and you got banned, and that it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, trying to fuck with that, literally just had to make a new stream because I got signed out of everything. You can't access desktop YouTube on the phone, man. I said this back in May, and I don't know why people assume I'm lying. Take what I say as the gospel truth. I don't get on the internet and lie. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't care about lying to you people. I don't care what you people think. I'm a fucking grown-ass man. I mean, why does everybody assume everybody lying all the time? I done ban you, but there's no way. So you're shit out of luck. I just spent 10 minutes trying to get on there, and none of it worked. None of it works. You cannot access your banned list from your phone. It's impossible. So, you're shit out of luck, man. You shouldn't have acted like you acted. You made your bed, now make a new account, lie in it. Let's see. Y'all do this shit to yourself, and then you won't cry about it later on. Shouldn't have done it. How all these other people come in here for years and ain't never been banned? It ain't hard to act normal, man. Now we literally have to take time out of the day that we're trying to get this playlist done, and we have to. I'm telling you right now, you're playing with fire doing this during his play. You're playing with serious fire. Because this is Faye Smokey's time, and now I'm telling you, you're making a mistake here. You made a big mistake here. All it's going to take is, you're lucky he went to the dentist the other day and probably ain't got the money. Because if he did, he'd probably just send money and say, just ban that guy for life and never respond again. Y'all pick the worst times to act like this. You pick the worst time to try to get unbanned. I'm telling you, you're playing with fire right now.
Google Apps, you have these four dots. You're gonna go to your Google account as it shows up here. This is your home screen. You're gonna go down to people and sharing. Once you clicked on that, people and sharing, you'll see this area right here with your contacts. And then you'll scroll down a little bit and you'll see the people that you blocked. So you go to blocked users. I blocked a bunch of spam users whenever I watch the kind of videos and all the spam shows up. I just block it. So you're gonna click on
Yeah, but I don't even know how to find that.
apps. You have these four dots.
Playing with fire here. 5. I don't see this blocked account shit anywhere. I don't see blocked accounts anywhere. Oh, maybe right here. No blocked users. There are no blocked users. Well, that's good. I don't know how you expect me to unblock you when there's no way to unblock you from the phone. I did what this woman said. I don't have any blocked users in here. No blocked users. So that doesn't work. She lied. Now, when you go to youtube.com from the phone, and even if I got to the desktop version, and when I click on Creator Studio, which is where you go on the computer to unblock people, it takes me to the mobile version. It forces me to the mobile version. There's nothing you can do here. You see why getting banned is a stupid idea? Mindless trolling that doesn't even bother me. I mean, why do people try to troll me when it's never worked? I don't even understand it. And then you end up trolling yourself. What you need to be doing is you need to be getting on Google and figuring out how I can unban you, because I don't know how to do it. You're going to have to wait to the laptop, which we would have went and got today for $18 a week, but we don't have $18. I got to find 12 more bucks, put it to my rent, because I'm $12 short. Shit out of luck and jolly well fucked. And you're wasting our time, and you're interrupting the paid playlist with shenanigans and nonsense. And I think everybody can see now why you got banned. Attention seeking. Sad. Maybe I can get on it with Google Chrome. No, it's always been hard to unban people from the phone. It's always been a problem. Oh, maybe we might get it this time. It keeps opening the app. I don't need the app. I need to get into the... I think I got it. Now, when you get unbanned, my advice would be to act right. Don't do the same shit that got you banned. Because next time, ain't nobody going to do nothing. If you get unbanned, start acting like a faggot, they're just going to reban you. You know that, right? You know that era on this channel is over, acting like that. It's over. You're never going to be able to do it again. You just got to move on from past shit. I know y'all have a problem doing that, but you really have to move on with your behavior. You should already anyway. You should grow up. You should grow up in life, and old behaviors you should cut out as you get older when they're immature. These are trolling all day is immature. I mean, if you're making money at it, go right ahead. But sitting in a YouTube chat trolling all day is immature behavior. We expect it out of children. We don't expect it out of grown men. How do I? Comment section. Oh, this is the wrong one. God damn. Switch account. Here we go. Oh my God, fuck off. Well, we had it. Now it won't let me get back in it. There we go. Well, then make it on October 15th. You can upload YouTube Shorts 3 minutes long. I mean, when does it no longer become a short? I mean, Jesus, 3 minutes long. It's a pretty long short. I don't even see a way to unban people anymore. Where is it? Creator music. That's not it. Customization, no. Monetization, no. Copyright, no. No. Comment section, surely this is it, right? There used to be a page with everybody on it. It's not there anymore. Wow, they added something where you can see everyone that uploads a video about you. And put your name in the title. That's new. I don't see a ban list, though. It's not looking good, man. I don't think you can even unban people anymore. There used to be a page where you could unban people. Oh, wait, maybe right here. Oh, fuck. I think you're shit out of luck, guy. I don't believe I can unban you. And now I can't even get on there no more. See, it takes me to the app. And on the YouTube app, there's no way to unban people on it. I don't know why, but there's literally no option to unban people. You can't look at your ban list. I don't think unbanning people from YouTube channels is a big feature that people talk about. So I think y'all got to realize that they don't really care about having it accessible, because literally when you ban people, you don't ever unban them. Just stop getting banned. God, why can't you all act normal? I don't understand it. I'm 37, dude. I don't know why y'all act like this online. It's so fucking weird to me. Y'all just can't act like just normal people. Trust me, you're not bothering me with your comments, so making them is not. And I didn't even ban you. Somebody else did, because they just find you all annoying. You're going to realize that. You're just annoying the viewers, and the viewers just want you gone. And you're probably getting on their nerves right now. Wasting our time trying to unban you. It's just a bad idea. Terrible idea. You're probably going to end up banned for life by the end of this stream, because people are going to get so annoyed with you. Wasting our time. Here it is. We found it. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait, that was a moderator. Oops. I took Red Hawk's mod away because I was like, why are all these people banned? Like, I started looking at this list. I'm like, why is Face Smokey banned? Why is Red Hawk? But that's the moderator list. My bad, Red Hawk. And modded you, and you just have to get remodded when you come back in here. Now I gotta dig through this list of banned losers and find your name. And you have to hope that I find it before someone gets so annoyed with you that they pay me to ban you for life. Like, you're playing with serious fire right now. I'm telling you. And then you got to come in here on that account and you got to act totally normal, because if you fuck up, Face Smokey's going to pick your ass up. Face Smokey's going to pick your ass up and toss you right back out of here. And once he does it, there's nothing I can do. I won't go against his will. I'll just go, all right then. Dude, so many people are banned. Wang Dong, this guy's name, Wang Dong. Show 264 more people. Man, we ain't gonna be able to find you, man. Don't get banned, because you're gonna be in the fucking trenches. And no one's gonna be able to find you. I don't even know if I can find you in here. Like, you're in a sea of retards. This is crazy. This is wild. Oh, there you are. All right, you're unbanned. Type something now. You get banned again, I'm telling you, you're on your own. I won't be able to save you. Look, there's Techie in there, floating in the void. Stormy Daniels, Hush Money. Oh my God, how did we both say that at the same time? What the fuck? I'm looking right at Stormy Daniels, Hush Money. It's literally right there. What the fuck? I looked up and saw you, but I was looking right at it. Stormy Daniels, Hush Money. All right, I'll unban it because it sounds funny. All right, there we go. You should be able to type now. Don't get banned again, because it's too damn hard to get you out. That's work getting you out of there. I'm going to leave the page open in that browser, so if we need to come back in the future, we can. I mean, if Face Smokey bans him, I mean, you're banned. They said JD Vance was 4 hours long. This is 3 hours and 17-minute Rogan. Now we've got to find the playlist again and pull it up. I'm telling you. I'm surprised Face Smokey didn't ban you already. I was thinking about that. Maybe he's just waiting for you to pop back up so he can it'd just be funnier to him, you know? Because you stopped his playlist. You just came in the middle of his playlist and started stirring up drama, talking about banning the channel, all this nonsense. I think that was bad timing, man. I don't think it's going to end well for you. You might just want to not say anything. You might just want to stay in the shadows and kind of let things blow over, and then maybe you pop back up tomorrow. That's what I would do. Because I think if you pop back up now, you've wasted a good 30 minutes of our time here that we could have had that video done. We could be starting the next video. We getting this playlist knocked out, but you came in and you fucked up. It's a risk, I'm telling you. Okay, here's the playlist. Let's finish this.
Eradicating it down to the last cell. Cruelty against the left is framed as necessary and righteous.
You're unbanned, Steve. You're unbanned. Where you at, though?
Is something you might feel ashamed of, which creates a psychological imperative not to consider other perspectives. A thing that keeps people in is staving off the guilt they will reckon with the moment they step out. Gabe is also aware that anything he's done to the left could be done to him if he leaves. Some communities even keep docs on their members as insurance. And the things he's encouraged to do to the left will likely make him feel that the left would never take him now. The radical right is the only home he's got.
What is this stupid shit, bro? This is some of the saddest shit I've ever listened to in my life. Like... who gives a shit about being cast out of some online community? I don't know. Maybe a guy like me, I'll make my own shit. You understand? You can't cast me out of my own shit. I'm not a follower. I don't go and join other people's shit and sit in the chat and go, oh, I'm one of them. I'm part of the stream. You can't kick me out of my own shit. So I can't relate to this. Oh, I'm being cast out of the community. Fuck all these communities. I don't want to be part of none of these faggots. They're all faggots to me, Nazis and fucking right-wing dorks and all this shit. It's all faggot shit. Nazis and liberal fucking shit.
Of isolation. Steadily, options for Gabe are whittled down to being a vigilante or a nihilist. There are periods of elation, moments the alt-right feels it's winning, or more accurately, the people they hate are losing, are like cocaine. They are authoritarians after all. But the times in between are mean and angry. They are antisocial, starved of emotional connection.
He did.
Consuming.
He sent $5 and said, unban my account or we'll report the stream. That's what he said. The Stigs. You might have seen him before in the past. The Stigs. Don't remind me that I got to come into work tomorrow and count all that cheese. Oh my God, that's going to be fucking annoying, counting all that cheese, bro. That's going to be so annoying. It's going to take forever, but whatever.
Incompatible conspiracies that may at any point run them afoul of one another, devoted to figureheads who cater to but cannot risk leading them, and living under constant threat of being outed to the left or turned on by the right for stepping out of line. Gabe took this journey for the sense of community and purpose, and but for the rare moments everything goes their way, the alt-right can't maintain either. They can only keep promising his day will come, a story he could get from a $5 palm reading. The feeling there's nothing left but to kill yourself or someone else is so common, it's a meme. But there is a third option. Gabe can leave. Pre-conclusion, for fuck's sake, do not make your whole ass...
I'm gonna go take the trash out real quick. This bag's pretty full. It's raining. I need like a rug or something. For real. So I can wipe my fucking shoes off or something.
Access. Before we continue, I want to state plainly that Gabe went off the deep end because he found it convenient to tell him that because he is a cishet white man, the world revolves around him. Do not treat him like this is true. If a fraction of the...
This guy lives in just as much as a fantasy world as Gabe does, the guy making this video. They're both in a fantasy.
Energy spent having debates with America's Gabes were spent instead on voter reenfranchisement, prisoners' rights, protections for immigrants, statehood for DC, and...
Who gives a fuck about prisoners' rights? I mean, this is what's wrong with the left, bro. The shit they worry about, you're supposed to worry about prisoners' rights, criminals in prison, and you're supposed to worry about that. Their rights. Are they eating right? Are they being taken care of? Where is the concern for the citizen, for the law-abiding citizen? Why this hyper-focus on the worst of our society? People that want to murder their children, people that come here illegally, enter our country illegally, people in prison. Why should we care about these people over normal, regular, law-abiding citizens? They should matter more than criminals. People that aren't fucking your life up, trying to steal from you, kill you, rape you, should matter more. I mean, what the fuck?
Redistricting? Gabe's opinions, in the societal sense, wouldn't matter. Reactionary conservatism is a small and largely unpopular ideology that is only so represented in our culture and politics because they've learned how to game the system. And I get it. Those are huge problems that are going to take years to address, where if you know a Gabe, That's a conversation you could have today. And if you think you can get through to him, it's worthwhile to try. This is a fight on many fronts, and de-radicalization is one of them. But it is only one. So please keep it in perspective. It sends an awful message.
But what about de-radicalizing people like this making this video? We're not going to discuss that. This guy doesn't even think he's a radical. To him, he's just a normal guy. But he's just as radical as the Gabe that he's talking about. He's the polar opposite of that guy. And he, just like this guy on the right, doesn't get it, doesn't realize that he's radical. Neither of these people realize they're arguing with each other, but they're both two sides of the same dumbass coin.
When we spend more time trying to get bigots back on our side than we do the people they are bigoted against.
See, he's not even going to try to talk to these people. They're bigots. And therefore, he doesn't even have to interact with them. If you just dismiss people who disagree with you or have different opinions than you or different concerns than you, and you just label them bigots, then you don't have to associate. You don't have to have a conversation, nothing. And then you don't even talk to these people anymore. And then years later, you make videos like this that are so out of touch, so clueless, because you don't talk to these people. You don't interact with them. So what he said earlier in the video, where he was talking about this, like these right-wing people have this myth about fucking leftists, and they, you know, he's the same way. He will not interact with these people. He will not consume their media. He will not listen to their point of view. He is just as closed-minded as those right-wing people he's talking about. This is the problem in our country, that we have people like this and people on the right just like this who won't have conversations. They won't talk. And when you try to talk, I mean, look at Junie. It's borderline trolling the way he talks to you. He won't have a serious, honest conversation about these issues because to him, you're just a fucking racist bigot, and he don't have to entertain anything you say. He doesn't have to take you serious at all. And until he breaks that conditioning, he'll never change as a man. He'll never get better as a man. He'll continuously dismiss anything he disagrees with. He won't give you a reason why. He can't make a compelling argument as to why it's wrong. He'll just dismiss it, call it bigotry, and move on. It's so low IQ and pathetic. And why these people think they're so intelligent and they're better than all of us is, I don't get it. To me, they're dumb as fuck. They're just as dumb as a Nazi.
Your value as a lefty does not hinge on whether you can change Gabe's mind. Conclusion. How Gabe gets out. He may just grow out of it. These communities skew young, and some folks hit a point where hanging out with edgy teens doesn't feel cool anymore. He may become disillusioned after the movement fails to deliver on its many promises. He may become
there are edgy teens
if
on both
something
sides
goes
of
wrong
this.
in his life and his community isn't there for him. If he feels they like his race and his gender but don't actually care about him. He may be shocked if he sees the alt-right at its worst before being appropriately conditioned. Charlottesville was a step too far for a lot of people. His community may turn on him for any perceived unorthodoxy.
What about BLM riots? Was that a bridge too far? Oh, that's different.
He may be separated by circumstance from the community.
When a leftist kills people,
hospitalization, arrest, and not be able to top up on the rhetoric. This may lead him to question his beliefs. His community may disappear, either tearing itself apart or getting shut down by authorities. He may have incidental contact with populations he is supposed to hate and have trouble reconciling who they are in person with what he's been told about them. In his community, people bond over shared intolerance, but suddenly being tolerant helps him make friends. This is one reason the alt-right has made a battleground of the liberal arts college campus. He may form or revisit relationships outside the network, people who can offer him the connection he's been looking for. This may reintroduce outside perspectives, but more importantly, it rekindles his ability to have healthy relationships at all, something the alt-right has estranged him from. As with recruiters, it seems these escape hatch
you see how they talk about people on the right? You see how they talk about you? You don't have friends. You don't have anything. You're just a loser. Oh, you're such a loser. You had to become a Nazi and all this shit. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. This guy would say the same. If he watched my channel, he'd say the same thing about me. I have a girlfriend. I have children. I have a fucking life outside of the internet. Job. I have all these things going on. But to these people, everyone on the right is just some big collective, and they're all fucking losers, and the only reason that they want to secure the border is because they're bigots. Not because they have common sense and understand that, you know, you should secure your goddamn border of a country. Every other country does it but us. Oh, it's so bigoted to do it. And the only reason you want to secure the border is because you just can't get pussy. Oh, what an argument. What an argument.
Can sometimes be parasocial.
Genius.
Coming to respect a public figure who is on the left or is critical of the alt-right. Someone he is close to may compel him to choose me or the movement. A lot of young men leave to save a romantic relationship. Hearing stories from people who've already jumped may help. There aren't a lot of public formers, and some raise questions as to their sincerity, but it is getting more common, and maybe the closest we get to exit counseling for the alt-right. He may become aware of the ways he's being manipulated, or have them revealed to him, maybe because he stumbled into BreadTube, I don't know. Knowledge that you are being indoctrinated is no guarantee it won't work. You are not immune to propaganda, but it can help one resist.
This video is
And
propaganda?
he may revisit a core belief system that used to guide him, be it religion or social justice, or a really wholesome fandom, and be reminded of the identity he used to have. Moments like these, in isolation or in aggregate, can inspire Gabe to jump. They are also good times for friends to intervene. The reach and the impunity that comes with the internet means it is never easier to fall.
Imagine you start asking legitimate questions like, why don't we secure our border? I mean, drugs and human trafficking and all this stuff going on. I mean, and your friends call you up and go, hey man, are you okay? Like, you know how disrespectful and insulting that is to call your friend up and act like he's lost his mind because he's talking about securing the border, or because he thinks women shouldn't walk around acting like sluts all day, that it's like a turn off to him and he's just not into that. Most guys aren't. Is that the wife you want to marry? A slut who goes around acting like a slut, dressing like a whore all the time? No guy wants that. So these are pretty common things, and if you start expressing these beliefs and your friends call you up and act like you're a fucking Nazi, something's wrong with you, I would suggest getting new friends, because that's insane. It's insane. It's just like during the pandemic where I had people, you know, that shit doesn't work on me. It's the worst thing you could do to me, because we're gonna have an argument about it. Like, go fuck yourself. You don't call me up and act like something's wrong with me because I won't take an experimental shot. Are you out of your fucking mind? Call me up and act like I've lost my mind. How? And then they can't explain it to you. See, they want to bully you and you to submit to them. And when you don't, they can't argue. They can't debate you on it. So they get mad and they just go, well, whatever. And they hang up. And then the next time you talk to them, they don't even talk about it. It never comes up again, how they acted, because they realize that they acted like a bunch of retards, and they can't bring themselves to admit it. They can't bring themselves to apologize. They just have to they just move on from it.
Into reactionary conservatism. It has also never been easier to get out. People who exit skinhead gangs often fear for their lives. For Gabe, there's a chance getting out is as simple as going to a different website. Much of his community does not know his name or his face.
If you're a Republican, you're a skinhead.
Important enough to dox. What doesn't get Gabe out, not reliably, not that I have seen, is an argument with a stranger who proves all his facts wrong and his ideology bunk. Facts don't always work because facts don't care about.
No, facts do work. You, liberal, just do not have them on your side. Yes, if you came to someone like me, I don't know about these fantasy Nazis you're talking about, but we all know you're talking about right-wing people. You're not talking about Nazis. You're talking about the average conservative guy. Because everything you've expressed is average conservative. You all want to secure the border. And yes, illegal immigrants drive our wages down. Simple economics. This isn't bigotry. This is common sense. If you can bring in workers that'll work for cheaper wages, yes, that drives our wages down as Americans. This is common sense. It's straight fucking common sense.
His feelings. This was about staying in a community and holding on to an identity that mattered to him. It was about belonging. And that is something a rando from the other side of the culture war can't give him and probably shouldn't be responsible for. The theme here is human connection. Before he can do the work of disentangling himself and facing the guilt.
It's not that I don't believe it. It's that I fact check it and I find out it's fake. It's that I do my fucking research because I know I can't trust these people. It's like the crime data. Oh, the crime is down. Well, no, it's not. The FBI left out major cities where there was a lot of murders. The FBI missed, I believe it was 1,700 murders in 2022. How does that happen? Well, that happens when they're trying to manipulate data to push a narrative. I'm actually not a retard. I play one, but I'm actually a lot smarter than I act. I do my fucking research. I learn about things because I'm one of the most open-minded people on the internet. You're not going to find a very open-minded person like me. You can change my mind if you stop trying to push your agendas, stop with the tactics, and make a compelling argument backed by real shit. Leftists cannot do that. This is why they use shame tactics. This is why they come in here and go, oh, I can't believe you're voting for a Nazi. These are bullying tactics, and I have never been bullied. I have fought people who try to bully me. There are two types of people in life, and you learn this as a child. You're either someone who gets bullied or someone who fights back against bullies. If you don't defend yourself as a child and you let people bully you, you will become one of these people later in life who just submits to all this shit. All it takes is to get attacked and shamed by these people, and you will submit to them. You all use manipulative data. Leftists use manipulative data. They take this data and they leave shit out of it. And when you start following right-wing people, the right-wing people show you the other side of it. They show you what's being left out. When you're open-minded, you step back and you see the full picture. Here's what the leftists are saying. Here's what the right-wing people are saying. Now I have the full picture. Now I can sit back and use my brain. We talked about this the other day, how people don't have an inner voice. A lot of people don't have critical thinking skills. This is a problem. I don't have this problem, so I can think. I can see this argument and see this argument, and I can listen to people debate and and then I can make up my own mind. This is called being objective. This is called being open-minded. Now, I know it's a rare thing in society, but I don't care. This is who I am. This is how I've always been. You can convince me, but you have to use the facts that you claim you have, but you do not have. How many times have people come in here with the facts, and we've argued with them, and we've proven them wrong time and time again? How many times have I been proven wrong and said, oh, you got me, I'm wrong? Tons of times. Nobody comes in here and gets proven wrong and admits it. They act like a fucking faggot, and then they leave. Junie used to do it all the time. Oh, here's an article that proves me right. All right, let's read it live on here. We get halfway through it, he leaves. Hey, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. I gotta go. Oh, we're shitting all over your article. We're ripping it apart. We're ripping your facts apart with reality. And oh my God, these are the same people that tell you can swap genders. I don't want to hear about facts from people that tell me a man can be a woman. You don't believe in facts. You don't believe in science.
He has to know there's something for him on the other end of it. That the right hasn't ruined him. They've told him all of history is groups fighting each other over status, and that without his clan, he'll be in exile. He needs a better story. I don't know that lefty spaces are ideal for this, in no small part because bringing someone who's a bit of a Nazi but working on it into diverse communities is questionable. And it probably wouldn't be good for him either. Having just gotten out of a toxic belief system, he's going to be deeply skeptical of all ideologies. In a perfect world, people who care about Gabe could build for him, to use a therapy term, a holding space. Someplace private, physical or digital, where Gabe can work out his feelings, where he is both encouraged and expected to be better, but is not in the moment judged. That comes later. It is delicate and time-consuming work that should not be done in public. But we find these beliefs built up over the course of months or years tend to fall away very quickly with a shift of environment. Change Gabe's surroundings and you change Gabe. But instead, a lot of people who jump are functionally deprogramming themselves, which is working for a lot of them, but it's haphazard, and there are recidivists. If you don't personally know a Gabe or have training as a counselor, you may not be in a position to help him. Possibly there are things you can do to disrupt the recruitment process or prevent infiltration of spaces you're in. I'm looking into it, but talk to your mods. But elephant in the room, meaningful change will require reform on the part of platform holders. Tools to disrupt this process already exist and are being used on groups like ISIS, but they're not.
One thing you learn, that's why I encourage people to study history. One thing you learn about history is that the people that want to censor are the bad guys. Good people telling the truth don't need censorship, brother. Why would you if you're telling the truth? Censorship is a tool of tyranny. The left pushes censorship. He just said it. He said the only way we can combat right-wing people, which is when he says Nazi, that's what he means. The only way to combat that is to censor it. Not only is that counterproductive, because it just encourages more people to go seek out this information because they're told they can't. The worst thing you do is tell somebody, no, you can't look at this. You can't see this because if you see it, oh my God, the horror, it's going to turn you into a Nazi or something. Well, what? I'm a grown-ass man. I can look at anything. I'm not going to turn into a fucking Nazi. Zero chance of me turning into a Nazi. I don't believe in that stuff. I'm not a bigot. So, yes, I can look at anything. I'm a grown-ass man. I can look at what I want and hear people and hear speeches or anything. Here's any politician talk. I don't need these people to check what I look at before I see it. Hey, let me scan over this before you look at it. I don't need that. And when I encounter people pushing that, huge red flag. You're not trusted by me. I cannot trust you. There's evil behind these motives.
Hard not to get classified as terrorists. And also any functioning anti-radicalization policy would require banning a lot of conservative politicians. So there's that. But what makes our story better than theirs is that the fight for social and economic justice,
See how insane these people are?
And difficult,
ban conservative politicians.
When it works, it fulfills the promise the right can't keep. It materially makes people's lives better. I am not
no, leftism does not make your life better.
Giving these videos happy endings.
No, it doesn't.
One thing we have that the alt-right doesn't is hope.
Yeah, sure, you got a lot of hope. Hope for what exactly? I don't know. Terrible video. Very weak arguments.
Okay, so this is a live stream. I'm live. My name is Matt Beat, known online as Mr. Beat. I used to be known in the classroom as Mr. Beat. And my first series that I made on YouTube that was watched by just people that were not my students was my Presidential Elections in American History series. People watched it for fun back in 2016. Meanwhile, I had taught, I was teaching high school social studies, economics, American government, American history, and we predicted who would be the president in 2016 to my amazement. And that's what we're going to do tonight using the same methods. But I brought in special guests to help predict who will be the next president of the United States. As you all know, this election coming up here in less than 2 months. We have the two main major party candidates, Kamala Harris. I'm starting to sound like Republicans by the way I say her name now. I've been listening to the Republican streams. Anyway, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, and it's been a crazy election. The video that I will be making is going to be a crazy episode for sure. If you want to get caught up, you can watch I put the playlist in the description. I also have my book here, the Ultimate Presidential Election book. Every election in American history is in there. But no, a lot of you are not here for me or for any of that. You are here for my special guests. So I'm going to bring them on here. I have the Lichtmans here. And let's all give them a warm welcome. Here we go.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time. I know you've had a long day, especially Alan. I was watching your other live stream you just did.
I ran 6 miles today.
And no big deal. Taught a class and was also like on other
exactly
media outlets. But yeah, so if you don't know who Alan Lichtman is here, he's kind of a legend. He's kind of a big deal. He's an American political historian. Teaches at American University in Washington, D.C., which I was there actually last year. It would have been cool to meet you in person, maybe someday. But yeah.
These people have dumbed down our language. Like, everyone's a Nazi. So the word Nazi means nothing anymore. Everyone's a racist, so the word racist means nothing. Everyone's a sexist. Everyone's a misogynist. It just all boils down to you disagree with leftist policies and leftist beliefs, and therefore that makes you a bad person. And everyone's catching on to that because they've been crying wolf over and over and over and over and over and over. And nobody cares anymore. And I warned them for years to stop doing it. These people cannot argue, bro. I mean, look at Destiny. These people cannot argue their beliefs because their beliefs are so wacky and stupid. I mean, they talk about misinformation all the time. And then they're telling people men can get pregnant and shit. Writing books for kids about men being pregnant and all this crap. Like, and you want to talk about misinformation? Are you out of your fucking mind? But you have to accept that there's people among us who are just, no matter how much common sense you talk, what I just said, 100% right. You can't even argue against it. Men can't get pregnant. And if you're teaching that to people, that's misinformation. That's ridiculous bullshit. But it doesn't matter to these people because they're just going to tell you you're wrong. Something's wrong with you. Why do you think that way? They're going to try to gaslight you into thinking you're crazy. But they're the ones saying crazy shit. And for some reason, people succumb to this. I don't get it. But some people just get bullied into this shit and they just go along with it. I mean, they got y'all saying men can be women and shit. Talking about misinformation. Hilarious to me.
In 80s, is that right?
81.
The year I was born. Okay. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, so I didn't find out about you until 2016.
Right.
And that's when a lot of people found out about you, I think. And you've really become a really credible source for predicting American presidential elections. I mean, experts oftentimes are just people who know their stuff so well that they can predict the future. They can be these fortune tellers. And so I think you should be honored that so many people tune in to you now on your YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel. Speaking of which, the gentleman on the upper right-hand corner on the screen there is his son, Sam Lichtman, who, by my understanding, you run that channel. And yeah, I was right. I knew it.
Yes.
Okay. I assumed correctly. But yeah, so they just got a live stream over there. And if you haven't caught a live stream by these two, it's incredible. I love it. I've been tuning into you guys for a few months, the last few months. Just the dynamic between you two is really fun to watch, and especially considering that Sam, like, I don't know, how much do you know about American politics? How much are you in this world?
I'm not in this world in my day-to-day life at all. I work in film and media and communications, and in my day-to-day life, I don't work in it at all. I know quite a bit just because my dad is Alan Lichtman, and growing up, you know, he rubbed off that political itch a little bit onto me. And my mother, of course, yeah. But I didn't study history. I didn't study political science. None of that jazz. So, yeah, I sort of fit into the producer role on our channel and the host role, and trying to put a little bit of, maybe, like you said, some dynamic between us, some comedy between us. But I know enough, again, being the son of my parents, to hold my own a little bit.
Absolutely. Okay, so I know time is precious here, so let's get right into it. Dr. Lichtman, if you could just enter, like, for those in my audience who are not familiar with your 13 keys at all, could you just introduce them
Sure.
to everyone? Yeah.
Thank you, Max. All right, here's the thing. The keys to the White House: pay no attention to the pundits. They're my buddies and they're smart, but they have no scientific basis for their opinions, no track record in successful predictions. They ignore the polls, which are snapshots, and are abused by groups like Nate Silver, who compile polls and often are wrong, like he was in 2016. Instead, the keys to the White House, my prediction system, the 13 keys, taps into the structure of how American presidential elections really work, as votes up or down on the strength and performance of the White House party. And that's what the keys gauge. And there is a simple decision rule. The keys are phrased as true-false questions, where an answer of true always favors the White House party, and an answer of false favors their being booted out of power. And if 6 or more questions are false, the White House party is a predicted loser. This system has been right since I predicted Ronald Reagan's re-election in April 1982, nearly 3 years ahead of time, in the midst of what was then the worst recession since the Great Depression, when his approval ratings were down in the gutter. And of course, as Mr. Beat says, I was not very popular in 90% plus Washington, D.C. that's Democratic when I predicted Trump to win in 2016. But the point is, my predictions are scientific. They have nothing to do with my personal political views. So keep in mind, 6 false keys, and the White House party is a predicted loser. Fewer than 6, they're a predicted winner. And the keys look at things like midterm elections, incumbency, internal party battles for the White House party, third parties, short and long-term economy, policy change, social unrest, scandal, foreign/military, failure and success. And only 2 keys have anything to do with the candidates. Very high-threshold keys, asking whether the candidates are one of those once-in-a-generation, inspirational, broadly transformational candidates like Franklin Roosevelt or Ronald Reagan. And again, these are the keys. It's governing, not campaigning, that counts. That's why I introduced my predictions before this what was then an upcoming presidential debate.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up your 13 keys here in a moment. But before we do that, really 3 things popped into my head when you were talking just now. First of all, everybody looks at the polls. I always joke around. It's like a drug addiction. You're just like the true political science junkies that are all here watching right now. They're always checking sites like 538. But you made a really good point that I want to stress, that this is just a snapshot. This is just a moment in time. It's when we're talking about a broader, bigger picture. This can be quite a distraction, no?
Yes, and the other thing is, the error margin of the polls is far greater than they would have you believe, the plus and minus 3%. That's pure statistical error. That's the error you would get if you had a huge jar of green and red balls, and you pulled out a sample to estimate the percentage of green and red balls in the jar. But human beings are not green and red balls. Most people don't respond to pollsters. People may lie. They may not have focused on the election yet. It won't change their minds. They may tell pollsters what they think they want to hear. And critically, no one has voted yet. So they got to guess the likely voters, and every pollster has a different way of guessing.
Get up.
Finally,
I want to sit down. Get up.
Get up.
Get up. Damn.
It's 9 points. You have
You hard-headed.
in unless the gap between the two candidates is 10 points or more, which renders all these polls noise.
Dang, that's incredible. The other thing,
News: people are not green and red balls. Breaking news directly from Alan Lippman right there.
Right from the prediction professor himself.
so yeah, I guess we just need to stop looking at all these dang polls. I guess it's all
I'll give you that.
like a drug. But okay, two other things before I forget. One, you have not hidden the fact over the years that you are a member of the Democratic Party, that you generally favor Democratic Party candidates. I have always been a unaffiliated or independent, but my audience at this point knows that I do not like Donald Trump, that I think he's one of the worst presidents in American history. I think it's important that our audience knows these biases ahead of time. Do you want to say anything about that, like before?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I do have my political views. I don't hide them. But the critical thing about my predictions is they're predictions, not endorsements. They have nothing to do with my political views. My first prediction was Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
The most conservative president at that point since the 1920s. My most controversial prediction, which made me kind of a pariah, percent plus Washington, D.C., Democratic, was Donald Trump. So I predicted the two most conservative presidents of our time, along with more liberals like Obama and now Harris. So my predictions have zero to do with my political point of view. In fact, I always give anyone who wants to be a forecaster of any kind the following advice. Here's the advice to be a successful forecaster. Got no history, but that ain't it. Got no politics, but that ain't it. Gotta know math, but that ain't it. The secret is keeping your own personal political views out of it. If I predicted according to my personal political views, I'd be useless as a forecaster. You might as well flip a coin as listen to me. But because my predictions are analytic and total nonpartisan, they actually have some real meaning.
Yeah, and just to...
Excuse me, where is your hot sauce bar?
We don't have one.
Firehouse Subs has one.
Sir, this is not Firehouse Subs.
All right.
Kind of clarify on 2016. This is the... I tweeted this out earlier today that you've got 9 out of the last 10 elections predicted correctly. 2000 was the exception, but really, I mean, that was Al Gore. Many people argue that he really was the one who won that one. I started making my predictions in 2016. Both you and I predicted that Donald Trump would win, even though we were not Donald Trump fans. I used economic data, which I'll be sharing here at the end of the stream. You used your 13 keys. I think, that does something. I mean, that says a lot about credibility. Also, though, it is quite incredible that this election year it seems to be like a year that is just, I don't know, going against a lot of trend, going against a lot of history. It seems like, I mean, who would have thought that we would be in the situation now, right? Like with Joe Biden dropping out so late in the race after winning primaries.
Oh.
How much did that influence your 13 keys? Because I saw you on Twitter worried about Biden. Like you were saying, Biden should not drop out. So what made you change your mind about that?
Yeah, let me first give the big answer. And that is, my favorite comedian is the late, great Gilda Radner. And her character, Rosanna Dana, was famous for saying, there's always something. Every year there's something unique, and some critic says, you have to change your keys. We have an African-American running. Never had that before. America's not ready for an African-American. We have a woman running. Never had that before. We have a presidential candidate on tape bragging about grabbing women by their private parts. Never had that before. And of course, this year we have a incumbent president very late dropping out. And I have 3 answers to that. Answer number 1 is You can't change a system on the fly. That is a recipe for error. Answer number 2 is the keys, although they're based on history. I'm not psychic Gene Dixon with a crystal ball or Speaker Mike Johnson who claims the Almighty talks to him. I'm an historian. But the keys are incredibly robust. Developmentally, they go all the way back to 1860, the election of Abraham Lincoln, when we had no automobiles, no planes, no radio, no television. We're an agricultural society. Women didn't vote. African Americans were enslaved. The electorate was almost entirely white males, 21 years and over. So the keys have endured through vastly greater changes in our society, our economy, our politics, our demography than anything we've seen in recent years. Third answer is the keys fully take into account what happened with Biden and the transition to Harris. I had warned against what the Democrats were doing for several reasons. First, I thought it was absurd that the Democrats were openly and publicly, right out there, trashing their sitting president. I've never seen that before. I also thought that spineless Democrats were going to push Biden out and lose the incumbency key, but fatally also have a big party brawl and pile on top of that the loss of the contest key. No White House party has ever been reelected since 1900 when they lost both those keys. But they grew a spine, they grew a brain, they united behind Harris, which meant only one key was lost. It was an open seat, but incumbents often win when there's an open seat, like Herbert Hoover in 1928 or George H.W. Bush in 1988. So the keys fully took into account exactly what happened with the transition. Finally, as a general point, I'm not so arrogant to say that even the pattern of 60 years couldn't be changed by something cataclysmic, but the point is, you would never know until after it happens. You can't change your system beforehand.
Exactly. See, I was going to actually ask you a follow-up to that, because you say they're robust, but you're a man of science. You're a historian. Of course, you're going to, you're still curious that, oh, wow, that's exciting that we had a curveball in there this time around. I'm going to have to adjust things after the fact. Yeah, thank you that's a great answer. Let's just dive right into the 13 keys. And yeah, Sam, feel free to jump in anytime. Don't be shy now. This
He's way sharper than I am. You know, he's young and sharp. I'm old and doddering.
Okay, and also before I share the 13 keys tracker here, I just want to point out that the evidence that I rely on, the economic evidence, is also robust. It's been accurate going back to the 1940s, not as far back as 1860. So the 13 keys is probably
that's pretty good, better than almost any other forecaster.
Yeah, so I mean, I think together, you put everything we're piling on top of each other here tonight. I think we've got a pretty solid case. But yeah, so here is anybody can visit this. I put the link in the description. We're just going to go through it briefly as quickly as we can. If you want to explain where we're at this moment, I know it's with 9 of the 13 keys, I believe, favor Harris. Okay, so I need to go one through one. Yeah, I'll just fill it out here. Go ahead. Key 1, midterm gains.
But before I actually hit these, a very quick point.
Sure.
I get 10 emails a day from people who claim we know better how to call the keys.
Hold on a sec. I might switch to this phone too, because that's not going to stay connected when I go outside. I'll have to make a new stream. Well, I guess we are. Maybe. I'll try something. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a new stream on this phone so we can go outside with it. So just go to the new one. I'm gonna make it right now.